Hey everybody, so another good thing to help deal with challenging situations is to read. I find reading aloud to be very beneficial, especially if you spend a lot of time on your own, especially if you're like me and you're working to rebuild your voice and your respiratory system. Reading aloud can be very beneficial. And if you pick an inspirational book, like right now I want to share with you guys a little bit from Joan of Arc, that's just going to better to perpetuate more of that positive energy. So here we go. All right, this is written by Kathryn Harrison. Life Transfigured would be underneath the Joan of Arc. Original title. So here we go. Chinon, which is a city in France, about 350 miles to the west, was at the end of the 11-day journey through English-occupied territory. The rivers in flood as they were every February. No roads and no bridges left. Even though they took the precaution of proceeding only under cover of night, the 7 men-at-arms, or 6 and one armed girl, traveled on horseback and undetected and undisturbed by soldiers guarding roads, encircling the towns along the way is often cited as the first miracle to demonstrate Joan's uncanny powers. A story was told by some soldiers who had gone to intercept her when she was on her way to find the king. Seguin testified for the nullification proceedings, a Dominican friar who provided the sole eyewitness account of Joan's first formal ecclesiastical examination, sorry if I mispronounced that, at Poitiers. Seguin is considered by historians to have provided the most reliable of testimony. Excuse me. They had laid an ambush to capture her and rob her and her company, he said, but as the moment when they were about to do so, they found themselves unable to stir from their positions. And so Joan had escaped without difficulty together with her company. There would be other miracles, both less ambiguous and more dramatic. Still, whether it was accomplished with or without the grace of God, that so large a party eluded both enemy soldiers and the bandits spawned by anarchy was at least lucky and by no means expected. After all, Bragicourt, which is an officer that she was working with, had provided Joan a military guard for a reason. When conflict emerged, what conflict emerged was internecine and came in form of power struggles between Joan and those members of her escort who, like Bragicourt, were just following orders. Except Sir Robert was safe within the walls of a fortified city, and they were being asked to risk their lives for a girl who not only claimed she heard voices from God, but dressed as a man. Hassan Lemaitre, a tinkler from Vivilia, not 10 miles from Domremy, testified for the nullification that he'd heard it said that while Joan was being taken from Vaucouleurs to the king, some of the soldiers of her escort pretended to be the enemy troops, and that those who were with her made a show of being about to take to their heels, but she said to them, "In the name of God, do not run away. They will do us no harm." And though Jean de Metz and Bertrand de la Polonais were firm defenders of Joan's holiness from the outset, her other companions plotted to undo the audacity of this inconvenient virgin, only to discover why it was that one of the king's squires, Gobert Thibault, heard Joan's intimates say that they never had any desire for her. That is to say that sometimes they had a carnal urge, but never dared to give way to it, and they believed that it was impossible to desire her. Suddenly, their sexual feelings were checked. So essentially, it's like a group of people she was working with, soldiers that were sent to guard her on her way to the king, essentially started plotting ways of, or somehow or another, talk was being brewed amongst a certain part to like rape her, is what it appears. And those that were closest among her had this feeling like, hey, no, that's, we're not going to do that. Just something came over them spiritually, you could say, to just deter them from that evil way. So just want to share that. Sometimes they had suddenly their sexual feelings were checked, whether the girl betrayed heavenly or whether the gift betrayed heavenly or, as her enemies would attest, demonic influences. And though how would it be demonic influence? A demon would want that to happen. So that's just kind of some silliness there. But anyway. And though her apologists would hardly have characterized it in such terms, Joan was believed to have safeguarded her virginity by using supernatural powers to emasculate would-be assailants. So, yeah, all right, I'm going to share that with you guys. Hope you have a good day. Love you guys. Bye.